Hi guys, my name's Henry Lennon and welcome to my episode of 24. You could say I pulled the short straw here because it's the middle of January and we're winter fishing. Winter's not exactly known to be the best season when it comes to catching carp, but it's certainly still possible, so I'm doing my very best to catch a few fish for the cameras today. It's very rare that I actually get 24 hours to fish in the winter. More of my winter fishing consists of shorter sessions, so I'm going to split my session into 3 different parts. A short afternoon session, a work overnighter, and then a day session. We're starting off here with the afternoon session. We're at a well-stocked club water where if you get on the fish, you're in for a really good chance of a quick bite. I turned up, I did a quick lap and actually saw a fish show, tied to some rushes in a swim that I know's got really good winter form. So without further delay, I'm going to get the rods out the van, get a bait cast out to them and get a quick bite for the camera. It's just gone 1:30, my 24 hours starts now, let's get fishing. There's no doubt about it, winter fishing can be tough at times. It's cold, it's dark, the fish are hard to locate and they're not eating as much. But that is exactly what I like about winter fishing, the challenge. The reward is so much more hard earned. And when you're having that cup of coffee to warm your hands up after you've slipped back a 20-pounder in the middle of January, and just that sense of achievement, that is what I love about winter fishing. So we're in the swim now, and for me this is the perfect winter swim. We've got the wind blowing in slightly, we've got rushes which provide a lot of warmth the carp love to get up against, and not only that, I've seen one show. I'm thinking small little citrus pop-ups, high attract, fish tight against those rushes are bound to do a bite. My baiting philosophy for winter is maximum attraction, minimum food items. What I mean by that is I want as many food signals, as much attraction leaking off from my swim as possible. When the fish come in, up for a feed, the only food item that they can actually eat is my hook bait. Because of this, the citrus range really helps me out. Cultured hook baits, fizzing stick mix, pellet, there's a lot of attraction going on there, but if you just fish a small PVA bag of the stick mix and the pellet with this cultured pop-up, the only food item that the fish can really eat when they're coming down is that pop-up. So I've got so many food signals leaking off there, the fish are going to come down, they're really interested in what's going on, they want to find something to eat and they find that pop-up and hopefully they're nailed. That maybe half an hour. The rod went. I thought I'd go on a little bit quicker after seeing that fish show and knowing how well this swim is as a winter holding area. But a little citrus cultured pop-up has paid off. It doesn't feel massive. A February carp is always welcome. First fish, that'll do. There we go, a little dark one, maybe just about touching double figures. 45 minutes in the right place resulted in this bite, showing that you can have really good quick winter action if you choose the right venue and you're on the fish. Got the rods back out straight away again. Going to try for another one before going off to my second venue, which will be the work overnight venue, where there's a better chance of catching a much bigger carp than this. Location is always so important in carp fishing, but becomes even more important in winter. Carp are cold-blooded animals, so that means that in winter, everything slows down as the temperatures drop. Their sense of smell, their metabolism, everything about the fish is all dulled and everything slows down. Because of this, the carp are going to look for the warmest area they can, and this may result in a lot of fish being clustered close together, and because of that, I want to stay as mobile as possible so that if I do see a show, I'm ready to move. So I had a really good result there, catching one fish in a quick 3-hour session, tricking high attract bags of citrus pellet and stick mix to the rushes, a holding area that I know the fish get into in the winter was the winning tactic for me. We're going to move on to the next venue now, which will be the work overnighter. I'm going to reel the rods in, get in the van and get off there. Here we are at venue number 2 for the work overnight part of my 24. Work overnight has played a huge part in my angling because for me there's not enough time in the weekend to get all the fishing I want, so I've got to squeeze a few nights in midweek. The venue we're at is quite a famous lake for the area. We're in the middle of Southend. It's a small park lake, maybe an acre and a half in size with a big island in the middle. Now the island's a really important feature. The carp love to patrol around it. So I've got a secret weapon to help me get right where the carp live. The bushwhacker baiting pole is going to let me push my rods right in tight over the underhanging margins. I've got 2 rods out already, little citrus pop-ups, tiny handfuls of flake. I'm feeling really confident for a bite. I've seen quite a few fish. It's got great winter form, this place, and it's doing a few bites recently, so fingers crossed I get one, but I'm feeling very, very confident. It's been out about an hour. Little citrus pop up with a small handful of flake and it's gone. But now I can feel it. Is that picked up with it? Picked up with a line. I just feel it grating onto me. Whenever I'm pulling it out the snags on the far margin, it's just getting straight back into them. Even. That's how we do it!
Yes, Henry.
Come on! Oh, that didn't take long. Oh, I'll tell you what, mate, that's a nice one as well. Then we went on to Priory, the park lake in Southend, where we had a really cool fish. I was really happy to catch that one. The tail on it, I still can't remember how big it was. The fight was great. That was a pretty epic fish, especially from such a small park lake where if you didn't know there was carp in there, you sort of walk past it and just think, yeah, there's no fish in there at all. But there's some incredible carp in that lake. Big old fins. Wow, you saw me ship those baits out. I told you it was an edge, and here's the proof. Again, same as the first venue, even I wasn't expecting it to be that quick. Only about an hour, and it was away, the culprit being this scaly parkmate mirror. Well, a bleary-eyed early start, as is the case with every work overnighter. But we got one, job done, very happy with that. And now what's not the case with every work overnighter is that I'm not going to work now, I'm actually doing more fishing, which of course I'm very happy about. It's about 10 to 7 now, so a quick pack up, away for just after 7, and on to the next venue. I'm hoping I can complete a fish from every lake I've been to. So the next one is the final challenge. There's some really incredible carp in there, so if I do catch one, it's gonna be something really special. Also, being in tune with the lake is very important. If you know when bite time is, if that's a 3-4 hour period, then just make sure you're fishing that lake for that 3-4 hour period. There's no point you spending the rest of the time, rest of the day on that lake if it's not gonna be good for a bite at that time period, or you're really gonna have to be scratching for a bite. If you know that the fish get on the munch for sort of midday, try and get there at midday and just fish for those sort of 2 hours either side of it. Or if I'm fishing a venue with multiple lakes, which I do quite often, don't get bogged down by thinking, oh, once I've set up, that's me done for 24 hours, I'm not gonna move now. You can do 3 hours on one lake, you might have a fish, it might spoil the swim for a while, then you can go and do your night somewhere else, then you can wake up in the morning, maybe you've not had one and think, right, I'm gonna move again. Stay on the move, always be in front of feeding fish, and by doing that, you're gonna maximise your time on the bank, not just for those short sessions, but for your angling in general. So we're here now at the third and final venue, and what a special little lake it is. Low stock, low pressure, and very intimate. Because of that, the fish spook very easily, they're very wary. So I'm speaking quite hushed tones. If I came, loud voice, big footsteps, then they're going to definitely know I'm here. They're really wary fish, I'm doing my absolute best not to spook them. Again, I've got the baiting pole with me. This time, less for accurate baiting and more for able to silently drop a rig where the fish are. Go for a search for them now. As soon as I find one, that baiting pole's coming out. Dropping little such as pop up with a tiny bit of flake over them. I think that's going to do me a bite. Venue choice for these shorter sessions is important. You want to fish somewhere where you know you've got a chance for a bite in those shorter time periods, but also you want to be fishing for fish that you actually do want to catch. I have had a lot of success in the past doing these shorter sessions, especially when I'm in tune with the lake, but I know that if I go at this time period, it's bite time, I can rock up, set a little trap, and I've caught quite a few fish this way, especially on work overnighters. Once I've started to understand the lake, I can go on these work overnighters, set my traps. I know that in the morning I've got a good chance of having 25, 30-pound carp that I've really wanted to catch, that maybe if I was just waiting for these longer weekend sessions, I wouldn't have caught. So in summary, my top 3 tips for winter are: 1, maximum attraction, minimum food items. This is the baiting philosophy I take whenever I go fishing in winter, and that's where my hard truck pop-up presentations come into play. Secondly, it's stay mobile and always be on feeding fish. If you see a fish show, get up and move, because it's likely that if you see one fish show, there's going to be more fish around it. Thirdly, it will be try and be at the lake for bite time. Maximise your time on the bank. In winter, the fish may only feed for sort of 2-3 hour period on a lake, especially if it's a low stock lake. You can find out when that 2 hour period is, make sure you're down at the lake for that period. And finally, I'm going to add one more tip on top of that, and that is, don't be afraid to go fishing in winter. You have all the equipment now needed to have a comfortable time on the bank. You don't have to be sat there freezing. You can get out, do these overnighters, just like you would in spring and summer. Don't be afraid of getting out there, because the rewards are there to be had. Yes, sometimes it may seem a little bit bleak. You may think you've not got a chance of catching a fish, but when you do catch that 20-pounder, that 25-pounder in the middle of winter, it's going to mean so much more than if you caught it in the spring or summer when the fish are having a lot more. The rewards are there, go out and get them, and winter fishing is not to be scared of anymore. As you can see, we're currently enjoying some pretty typical winter weather as we have the duration of this day's session. It's been wet, it's been cold, and quite frankly, it's been pretty miserable. Despite the fact that I didn't manage to catch one from this venue, I've had a few nice carp from the other venues, so I'm very happy with that. To be honest, catching from all 3 would have been quite greedy anyway. I want to reel in now and get somewhere warm.